Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays, and I'm in the Shima, a tier 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on map Sleeping Giant. It's a 3-point domination game, pure tier 10. There is a sub, unfortunately, and there is a Stalingrad, which is raiding me. Off to a great start. Now, obviously I saw the Stalingrad coming, but Stalingrad Raider is not very long, and there is some cover here which I'm going for. The bigger issue is the set's also around. And the set can just enter this cap and keep it hydroed basically for a very long time while sitting safely behind this island. Now, we do have a friendly Sherman coming here. The Sherman has decided to not contest the center, but instead come over here. Now, the Sherman also has hydro. Not quite as long as the sets, but you know, still. So I have some fish going this way because the set is incoming. Of course, I expect the set to be hydroing. It's currently not, but it still dodged those troops. That's very questionable on the set's part, right? If you enter an area like this and you already saw a shimmer, you probably want to enter this cap with hydro running. Not to mention that he would be spotting me if he did. And hydro lasts like a long time anyway. Now, I was careful here because I expected the gearing to drop a little bit here, and I'm already leaving a... Sherman is now contesting this cap. He has a hydro. He can keep the enemy spotted. He can keep the cap contested. The enemy set has also realized that it has hydro right now. And I'm making my way more towards the flank. There is no benefit in us having two destroyers in here, and the Sherman is better suited for that job here right now, with its hydro. So I'm gonna sneak around the flank, and I'm gonna try to torp those enemies from the side. Or maybe just torp the enemy battleships, provide some spotting, we shall see. I got one torpedo into the Kurfürst, which is lovely. Now we shall see if I can... Actually, the set's fleeing. The gearing might be fleeing too. I was thinking I'm gonna try to see if I can make those enemies leave the camp, but they might just be leaving on their own. I'm not sure why. Of course, our Sherman is hydroing the entire cap, sure, but the set would have been hydroing back, and if he had stayed behind this island, I don't think we had anyone who could lob shells there. Now instead, the set is fleeing. I could detect it here, I think, because of the fire earlier. Not sure why I'm seeing it right now. I don't think it's on fire. Well, I mean, you know, not gonna complain. Maybe the team can do something with it. So I have one set against the Kurfürst. Unfortunately, I'm afraid the Kurfürst might be reversing, so I won't be able to hit it there. Vincent is also reversing, but I'm getting closer. Maybe it's not reversing quite fast enough. I also have some torps more or less towards the Stalingrad. Like, there are a lot of ships here. None of them is in a perfect torpable position. But all of them are sort of maybe could happen. So, you know, I'm spreading the love. There are also two destroyers, mind you. There is the gearing, which we have seen right now, and the set, and I could be hitting both of them. So the gearing is almost detecting me. I'm using my speed boost. I'm turning away. The gearing is also turning away. And I'm probably not gonna fire because I want to be concealed. And will I get a torp hit? Yes, I will. Now, I was pretty close to a lot of ships and in secondary range of the poison, so this is why I would have not shot in this. Well, I could shoot and then smoke, but that would deny my team the spotting. So I thought the ideal way to deal with this was to just, you know, disappear into concealment again and keep spotting. Speaking of spotting, I'm at 84,000 points of spotting already, and we're only 6 minutes into this game. So this spotting thing is going pretty well so far. So we are in a situation where I keep like the this entire flank visible, and my team is shooting it with great success. So that's nice. Meanwhile, speaking of our team has taken the A cap. Also seems like they were rather successful there. Now the destroyer is inside B. And yeah, our Sherman is still inside the C cap. Probably like doing what Shermans do best and pew-pewing at stuff. Right, the Sherman has done its job. It has forced the enemy destroyers outside of the cap, then it has taken the cap, and now it's probably just using my spotting to set the world on fire. So I gotta say, like, this is working pretty well from like my team perspective, right? Like, you could argue that the Schlieffen was always a bit in the back, especially it being a Schlieffen. But, you know, I mean, we got the enemy under control, we got the caps, there is no need for any drastic measures. And we are equal on ships right now. But with the points we should... Well, okay, we are one ship behind right now. But maybe this Kurfürst will equalize that pretty soon. Eat the fish. There you go. And with us having all the caps, this, you know... We just have to play for time, yeah. Now, on the other side, this Smolensk and Palau, like that combination, might be taking A. We shall see. Yeah, it looks like the enemy battleships are moving in, but you know, they're moving into a shimmer, so I'm pretty confident. My spotting still keeps constantly increasing, which is always nice to see. Now I have to be careful because of the Stalingrad, right? So basically, you don't really want to torpedo ships from the front, because it's easy for them to dodge. They'll probably have like the perfect sized gaps and just sneak through them. So I'd like to get on the sides of those ships. Now I can't go on the side of the 10 line, that would bring me too close. But if I go more towards sea, I'm moving more and more into the Stalingrad. But what I want is, like, if they keep going forward, right, then I kind of will see the sides from here, and I'm very close to the radar range. So I'm trying to... somewhere in between there. Of course, the enemy is actually moving into our Schlieffen secondaries. I'm not sure if they will continue on that path. Then again, if they turn too much, they'll show broadside to it. They are actually sailing into crossfire between Schlieffen and the Kremlin, which is very nice. Would have been nice if the Vincent just ate the torps, but I suppose it refused. Vincent is relatively fast and it's coming close, so I have to be very careful to not get spotted here. Meanwhile, we lost vision of the Stalingrad. But, oh, will it finally eat a fish? No, it won't. I mean, they're obviously now spotted for the Shikishima, so my hopes of getting a fish in there are not very high. Well, we are like one ship ahead right now, and obviously points-wise, we're doing very well. And the Stalingrad has struck. So obviously the Stalingrad is still around here, and now it has caught me with its radar. The good news is Stalingrad radar is not very long. The Stalingrad itself is not in a position to shoot me. And obviously the radar for the other ships is like slightly delayed. Now I'm trying to dodge those Shikishima shells, and I will go into a smoke here pretty soon, I think. And well, that worked. So Shikishima is getting very close, and I wanna torp it and maybe just shoot it a little bit. Like, I have one launcher ready, soon I'll have some more ready. Question is, do I even need more than one? In a situation like this, if I use all my launches and then the Shikishima just pushes me in, I'm doomed. But, oh, I got the scouting achievement. Oh, we've almost reached 200,000 spotting. So it looks like I'm only getting one torpedo into the Shikishima. I have more torps ready right now, but do I want to use it on the Shikishima? Because the Ohio is also closing. And honestly, the Shikishima is getting farmed by my team. It is pretty low. It's on fire. I think it's still flooding. Yeah, it's going down anyway. So we can use the other torpedoes on the Ohio. Now we'll see what the Ohio does. It's very close. I mean, it could just stop behind this island because it's pretty obvious where I am. So the Ohio might be careful, or the Ohio might just be going for it. I mean, we are at 800 and something points. the time for being careful in the enemy team has passed, and I might just have to move in desperately. So fish is on the way, and it looks good. Meanwhile, I can just shoot that Stalingrad a bit. Trader is currently on cooldown, so that's nice. There we go. Ohio ate it all. Yeah, I have a feeling we are winning this. Meanwhile, the Sherman has forgotten that he is not a torpedo boat. Now, the Sherman has some very narrow angles. What I think might have happened is that the Sherman went in and wanted to like get torpedoes into the Stalingrad's nose, and then it turned too much and it didn't have the torpedo angles anymore. And then it panicked and it smoked up, and now it's getting raided. Now the good news is, well, the bad news is our Sherman's dead. The good news is that one salvo could have gone into me, but obviously the Stalingrad shot the Sherman first. I mean, a Sherman is not a good ship to go YOLOing a Stalingrad around the corner with your torpedoes, but I mean, it's been a while since I played the Sherman, but I remember that you have a very narrow torpedo arc, and you know, you're not the most maneuverable. So I can only imagine that the Sherman thought like, no, Stalingrad is low, 2 torpedoes are going to be enough. It went in, it turned too much, and it was like, oh crap. But whatever was going on in the Sherman's mind, the Sherman has already been a big help taking the sea cap in the beginning. And you know, if it wanted to have some fun here, then why not? Now, meanwhile, I've unleashed the Kraken somehow. I'm getting a heal, and it doesn't matter because the game's over anyway. You know, over 200,000 points of spotting damage, 123,000 points of actual damage, and a Kraken. I'll take it. Meanwhile, the enemy sub here is spotted. Now the sub could easily dive. But it has forgotten that it's a submarine, so, you know, it's gonna eat massive points of damage. And now that it is below half health, it has finally realized that it could actually dive. I have a feeling it's about too late. But, you know, we would be reaching 1,000 points anyway, so who cares? So this was a pretty nice game in the Shimmer, I would say. And what I really loved is that I was able to provide a lot of spotting, and my team used the spotting. Overall, I'd say my team handled itself very well. We dominated the map. It was not that decisive on ships, at least. Like in the end, we had a lot of ships left and they didn't. But over a long period of the game, it was somewhat equal on ships. It's just that the enemy team was way too passive. And, you know, I got my Kraken, I got my spotting, and I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see you next time.